We are back to do the Aries update for September. Those of you who are new, I'm Yildiz from Yildiz Readings 5D. I'm here to deliver the messages for September, which is going to connect in with the astrology, your romance house, the aspects the planets are making that will directly affect and impact and change you, as well as your finances, career, and anything directly you're working on. I've pulled cards for each moon phase that's coming through for September. And the crystal I've actually picked for the energy of what's coming in this month is very much connected to your house that's coming through with the Pisces energy, interestingly enough. Our crown energy is being activated, I'm feeling, and a detox factor, especially with that old Virgo energy that's coming through, has been relevant. So if you're needing to tune into your crown chakra, meditation for the crown chakra, water and crystal therapy can help, as well as eating. Usually it's more water that clears the chakra, as well as getting grounded, okay? So amethyst is what is coming through for the month of September. Hi, Michelle. And I'm going to tuck into the read of what's coming through, both astrologically and in your romance house and in your career, work, and money house. Now, with the first moon energy, it's falling into your 12th house, which is very similar to what Scorpio is going through by the Libran moon. But for you, it's coming through in the first week, moving into September. Now, Jupiter will be out of shadow and it's going to be completely direct as of the 1st. So your movement and wanting to push forward is going to really be amping up. Now, the Jupiter energy for you guys falls in your 9th house. This can be really tapping into things that are spiritual for you. Looking at your belief systems, and potentially with the retrograde with Jupiter, you might have been looking over areas such as your religion, education, foreign countries, and travel. So that, in a sense, is an energy that you're going to be tuning into for a bit, and your belief systems around those things are going to change. Interestingly enough, around the same time with the Pisces moon, your 12th house is being activated, which is your subconscious mind. So this is hidden resources, secrets, enemies, responsibilities. It can be illicit affairs, but on the higher realm, it's your spirituality and your crown chakra and your psychic downloads coming to you. The only way that's going to occur is if you're grounded enough to receive the messages. And you do tend to find the 12th house being activated. If you're really struggling in an area, you can become unwell, you know, and I'll use me as an example. There can be environmental changes, there can be ascension symptoms, but I'm feeling you guys are wanting to really, really push forward. Yes, okay. Now, what was the other one? Now, Uranus going retrograde is doing the same at the same time. Now, it's going to be going direct as of January the 10th, 2020. So each time a planet goes retrograde, especially with this energy being in Taurus, it's more the niceties of life we're wanting. We're wanting to turn something into a pleasantry. It's falling into your 2nd house. So this falls into your possessions, your professional resources, land, and material value. So the things that you were spiritually connected into, especially with your 12th house being activated with the first moon phase of Pisces, and Jupiter, your religious, your beliefs coming in around the same time. It's what you wanted to grow versus, hey, what's the reality of that? And are you spiritually connected to that? So it's perfect in a sense that with it going retrograde, you're going to be moving on the hunches that Jupiter in retrograde gave you of what wasn't fitting and working, but then having a very spiritual connection with that and looking at it, whether it's worth your spiritual energy. So your assets, your land value, your soul versus the 3D, is it in alignment? That's what it's really asking. You know, with that growth, is it to the detriment of your health? Is it worth it? Are you worth more than your 3D possessions? So spiritually, you're going through a huge transformation. I'm going to pull a chakra card for the first moon phase. of the 12th house for you guys, because it falls in your 12th house. Now, the card you got for that is Squirrel, preparation, the downloads of what you're being inclined to do, the things, the hunches that you're having that is giving you advice. You're preparing. You intuitively know something's shifting. You also know something's got to give, Aries. Okay, so get ready for big changes. Now, it's the interesting thing is for the clarification card, you've got shapeshifter in reverse. Now, with this, I'm feeling as though even if you didn't want to see the signs, you're seeing the signs because your environment, your vibration, the tuning into a situation that you're getting, you can't deny it. That's what I'm saying. It can't be denied. So if you're doing something to the detriment of your health, to the detriment of your spirituality, and it's not in alignment with who you are, I do feel it's a bit like the Abraham Hicks analogies that they use, and not analogies. You know, you can follow your gut and what feels great, or it will directly impact you, and you will no longer be emotionally connected to it. So emotions in reverse, it's like no longer spiritually connected into, again, as Sula says, doesn't like this term, people, places, or things. And knowing that it's out of alignment with you, you've faced your shadow. You're like, look, even if I wanted to deny this as a factor in a reality, it's to the detriment of my health. I know what is and what isn't in alignment with you. Now, by the second moon phase, it's falling into your 7th house. Now, this is marriages, contracts, and partnerships. And it's interesting because your animal totem card you've got is illusions. And again, I'm feeling a Neptune frequency coming through with this. Whoa, yes. The reason I'm saying this is because with Neptune, with the 12th house, because when you look at 12th house, it can be very spiritual, similar to Neptune. I'm feeling as though with this energy, you know who you really are, okay? So and when you research Dragonfly Totem, it is deeply spiritual. So from your spiritual transition, anchoring it into the 3D, you're evolving through this month of September. You're getting to a point where you're shifting direction. And 7 is, again, about spirituality, trusting in divine order that things happen for a reason. So anything in marriage, contracts, and partnerships, especially with Uranus going retrograde, if there's issues and you're separating and there's land-related dynamics coming up, you're looking at it, there can be immature energies, and everyone isn't going to be doing exactly the same. So it's going to depend on what is uniquely happening in your life personally. The way you're looking at things in your marriage, your contracts, and partnerships is going to be very different now, because you're moving beyond that point with Jupiter going direct. Saturn also is coming back online as of the 18th. It's going direct, and it's really pulling your energy into a point where it's saying, come on, we need to proceed forward. Now, Saturn. Where does Saturn fall for you guys? In your 10th house. Much the same as Capricorn. Now, the areas that are changing for you, both with Saturn and Pluto, Pluto will be going direct as of the 2nd of October, is your 10th house. Now, your 10th house is your career, reputation, fame or lack of, and other parent. Now, this is something of a spiritual sense that you're going to be transforming. And if it's a previous blockage ingrained from childhood, between now and 2024, it's moving it out of your system where it can no longer be a block. So your opinions about your career and your spirituality, because the 9th house is connected to your religion, your education, foreign countries, and travel. It's how you're being hindered by moving forward due to previous blockages. This is changing. Now, the dragonfly, the illusions of things, of being unable to shift, that's moving, okay? This is very spiritual. You're moving into what is in alignment with you. There could have been immature energies. There could have been something that didn't reach its full potential, and you're having to step up. So if something hasn't completely reached its maturity and you wanted to take that connection to the next level, this can be where you've blocked yourself from believing you can achieve certain things. This is really moving. If you had a pain body experience within any of these areas, it's spiritually changing to a point where it can mature and evolve. There is a change and growth through facing these aspects. I just feel you guys, it's like I see you physically pushing the pause button, but it's for no energy apart from the fact that you do intend to proceed forward. Now, it's interesting because Pluto is working with you. Your sign is directly connected to Pluto as well. Next month, we have the Scorpion moon coming. And I am seeing that as a very important date. More the 27th, the 28th for big transformations. It's not to say September is not relevant and important. It's necessary. And the things that you're shifting are for your movement moving forward. Still with the eclipses, they're playing out each month. And that's very much with the Capricorn Cancer energy. With those energies, it's going to be revisited by the end of the year. And if we're doing the changes we need to make, and we're stepping into our alignment each step of the way each month, it's going to be easier for us by the end of the year when the energy of the astrology will become very heavy. Now, in your career, work, and financial sector, you're facing your financial fears. And again, it makes sense when it comes to your assets, your possessions, your resources, your land. There's something that's been blocking you in the way you've been looking at something. So you're changing. When you are honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, again, 12th house activation, listening to your spirituality, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness. And you'll realize that you, in fact, have nothing to fear. That every successful person has struggled with the release of these doubts. And again, I'm seeing childhood related dynamics. Okay, I do feel there is a loved one who is protecting you. Again, when we look at the energy of the astrology, one placement for you is other parent. This could be a loved one who's passed over, but the belief systems about what your future is really changing. Exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. Now, there is a huge change coming both in your financial sector, your spiritual sector, and your whole world. There's the World card in her hand. You feel as though it's, look, the reality is the power is within your hand. I mean, she's holding the world in her hand. There's two white doves either side of the world. And again, it's a judgment. With her arms kind of one down and one up, it does look like the judgment card. But at the same time, one is lowered, and I feel this is to do with the 12th house, allowing the downloads to come, knowing that something in your world needs to change, wanting more peace and balance. Again, with the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn with the two doves, I do feel this is really what we're striving for at the moment is, you know, paradigms, belief systems, family-related dynamics, work-related dynamics, financial versus spiritual. We're trying to anchor those energies into a very balanced sense. And I do feel you're meditating on this prior to taking direct action. You're also choosing what you're connecting in with him, and read the fine print. It's interesting because with marriages, contracts, and partnerships, it needs to be in alignment with what your spiritual truth is. So with the 12th house, you're going into hermit mode temporarily, and it doesn't mean you're not interacting with people. You're going into your subconscious mind so you can gain the clarity, because it doesn't matter what anybody says. If it doesn't feel in alignment with you and you do it, it's going to shift you energetically if you're not emotionally connected in with it. Now, let's pull a chakra card for the Libra and Moon, which I failed to do. Yeah, third eye. So tuning into your belief about this, you're going into your crown, into your third eye. So it's getting your downloads, then needing to physically see something. See the truth of a situation. needing to change direction, wanting to take these things to the next level, and understanding that by the blockages in your road, it can be a belief system, a pain body experience, or direct people, places, and things. It's blocking you from achieving the highest point in connections, contracts, partnerships, and marriage. It could have been a past tense situation, but it's clearing it for the new chapter. This can be with the same person or just in general your energy within that domain. Again, this will impact your career sector too with your finances, but you're manifesting, but you're internalizing it and then bringing it out into the 3D to change things. I feel as though you guys do keep your cards quite close to your chest. You've worked on the aspect of, you've been working so hard that it's not, your achievement is about you. It's not about the external world. This is what I'm saying. So, you know, people potentially could project back at you and say your success is due to the fact it's egoic. I'm not feeling that. But some people potentially had been jealous, and you were very cautious about that because you didn't want to trigger or entice that. But you have very high expectations of yourself, but you also are evolving to a point where it's got to be quite balanced. You're very tired. You do have a lot of power in your belly where you're wanting to shift situations in your career sector. But at the same time, there could be a lot more options coming to you. Now, these options in your career, it's going to be evolving between now and 2024, but it's going to move in leaps and bounds, okay? Like I said, it falls in your 10th house, career, reputation, fame, or lack, and other parents. The maturity of these contracts and areas, the pausing and looking at that world you want to create is all about what you're going to do. It's no longer looking at other people that have what you want. It's actually going out there and getting it and not looking at blocks in the road as even an obstacle any longer. If you feel spent, again, it's the 12th house activation. So potentially you might get a bit, oh, you know, I can't do this. It's temporary. Spirituality will actually attract your finances. So if you feel invested in people, places, and things, and you're in your true frequency of what is in alignment for you, it's going to work. You keep proceeding forward. You will get the outcome with Jupiter and Pluto going direct, plus Saturn between now and next month. What you're going to find is you're going to have leaps and bounds moving forward. The retrograde gives you the aha as to what wasn't working or where you weren't putting attention to. That is going to, now that is a reality and you're looking at the dense 3D of it, it's what am I going to do from here? Because that's what the director's giving you an opportunity to do, is to place the energy into those things to get the best out of it now. Organize for success in reverse. Something seems distorted, okay? There could be a lot of things coming at you at once. Again, the Neptune frequency in the beginning of the month moving into September will come to a point where you're like, which thing do I deal with first, okay? Because it does feel like too much is coming at you. Again, 12th house, get grounded. Make some time outside of these obligations so that you invest in yourself, because the severe vows of poverty is the disconnect of you actually having some time for yourself. And even if you are detaching emotionally speaking, it can be emotional people coming at you, jealous people coming at you in an ego experience. And that's due to a fact they're evolving spiritually, but they won't know that. So when that's coming at you and you've already gone through that process, it can be light revisiting the trigger, but it's fatiguing you. So intuitively go into yourself, try and find 20 minutes downtime, detach from white noise, and it's going to help you just keep that movement going forward. I do feel for you guys, you're going to need black obsidian or tourmaline and the amethyst. And that's because with the 12th house being activated, you may be more susceptible to people latching onto you in spiritual attack. I'm just saying, okay? Okay, so this disorganization, I'll pull a clarifier on it. Do the work. Again, retreat. Do the work in reverse isn't negative. I'm feeling these things are positive. You're noticing the inconsistencies with situations. You're noticing where you can't do the work. It's not your job. And it might be people that you're working with aren't part of a team. They're not working in a team-related dynamic. So it's what you decide to do from here. Is it or isn't it in alignment? And what are you going to do from here? That's what I'm hearing. And I'm going to pull some clarifiers. Okay. Now, with your finances, you're getting things back on track. You're like, well, I know what to do. Planet's going direct. I'm going to take direct action. With your meditation and your health regime, the Virgo moon would have pushed that into a reality. Some of you may have gone off your food groups and it's just not giving you the energy you'd like to have. So you're changing the way you're eating. Your body will tell you what it needs. Just listen to it. But definitely with the 12th house activated, fluid. You're making a plan. You're moving on it. You're like, okay, are the things I'm working on giving me peace? If they're not, can I keep doing it? Yes, but I'm going to have to take some downtime for myself. Making a plan so that you can cope with the frequency. The energies of people around you that are projecting towards you, I feel you're just watching them and you're quite in awe of their behaviour. Some of you might be in management, okay? Whoever these people are, they can be really irritating you, and you're like, look, I've got so much on my plate that you're slightly in awe of the situation. You're also detaching from, you're not judging them. Exactly, I was going to say that. You're not judging them. You know why it's happening. But at the same time, you want some space between you and it. This can be your budget, it can be the work, it can be your co-workers, the things you're working on, the reasons why people are doing things. Now, with your severe vows and poverty, build on solid ground in reverse. Okay, the reality is you can see the instability of a severe situation. It may be a work domain. You know the reality. You've had your psychic downloads. You've had your intuitive downloads. So you're looking at something, and this month is going to give you a lot of clarity. With the retrograde, you had it anyway, and now you're having your aha moment. Jupiter direct, more energy, and going, okay, this is not going to work forever. This needs to change. Now, this energy coming through of organisation for success. Again, it's other people's energy. It's not your energy. It may be there's too much on your plate. That's a given. Yeah, you've got to make a decision. Is this workable? Isn't it? Do I need to speak to these people? Do the work in reverse. Some of you just want to leave the job altogether. Some of you should be in management. There you go, take the lead. Some of you know that there needs to be more delegation when it comes to management. Something's shifting in your life. Now, this subject matter has been coming up in conversation. I'm going to relay it to you guys. And it has been to a lot of people that I've been talking to lately. What you tend to find spiritually, if you're working a 9-to-5 job, or you're spending your money in your budget, right? And at the end of it, you've got $5 left. Okay, £5, whatever it be. And you're doing the same thing every day. And I'm not equating this to you not earning a lot. It's a spiritual sense, right? After a while, something's got to give. And your emotional connection to that, regardless of what potentially you are getting out of it, it's just not going to work. Because it's out of alignment. And this is what I'm saying. So when we say accept what's dying, it can be a belief system you physically had towards what previously you were invested in versus what you're going to be invested in now. Now, again, with Uranus going retrograde, we won't completely know till the end of the year, moving into January. And the reason I'm saying that is because, you know, with it being in Taurus, it's the things that are nice, right? That's what we're wanting, the niceties, the luxury furniture, depending on what house it falls in. And for you guys, it falls into your land value and material possessions as well as your professional resources. And we're talking about your career here. Your career, the things you're working on, the things you're investing in, all the external things. If it doesn't match what's on the inside, it's just not going to work. So if it's changing, when we say accept what's dying, the old version of the story is going, the new needs to come in. Fresh energy. What you're not doing is trusting the divine plan. You're like, this is because of the Neptune frequency. We're like, but if you get back into your 12th house, it's going to help you. So other people might not be trusting the process, but you can see the truth. So it could be two things. You're sensing it and know that it's changing, and you may find it slightly amusing. You also know your financial sector's changing, the way you look at things is changing. Other people may not be. Now, if you're not and you're really struggling with it, tap into your 12th house. It's going to help you understand the reasons why and trust the process through to October. Yeah, you need to put yourself first. What you're not doing in the blockages, you're not putting yourself first. A lot of people are needing on you. Now, I'm going to go into your romance house. We won't go any further in this career sector. Again, if anybody puts comments up and you've got questions, I'll tune in after a little bit later, and I'll tune into any other situations coming in. But I do feel something in that area is changing. You do have a better way. It will come to you. Your crowning energy in your romance house, be it with the person or you're not, because I read for twins. You have the 7 of Cups. Again, your 7th house is activated by the Libra moon. So this is going to come up for you romantically speaking around the Libra moon. But you're going to get your downloads first. So by mid-month, romance is going to come in. And again, the Neptunian energy, the frequencies of what's coming through could potentially trigger you a little bit. But there could be many options, many ways this could go. And again, it's from the eclipses you had wanted some things to change. Those things do change by the end of the year, forcibly if so, due to the astrology, or naturally because it's part of the cycle. But it's your crowning energy, it's on your mind. You're like, look, you're thinking about how things can be. It feels confusing. There's too many ways this can go. And it's like you're going over and over it in your mind. Again, this is a card of Scorpio, and this has been coming up in every read, including when I did watch one on YouTube, and I did comment to this person on their channel. They were mentioning a date, and the date I saw coming through was 27th, 28th as big changes. The planets are making huge aspects around that time. But the interesting thing is when you do see energies of certain zodiac signs coming through in the cards, look at the moon phases because it is anchoring in, and that's the way I'm reading at the moment. The Scorpion moon is coming up in October. I feel between now and October, you're going to be, it's changing. It just keeps changing because you're changing. Plus your 12th house is activated, Aries. In your head, the way you're looking at this, you're trying to be rational. You're like, okay, I'm stepping away from people, places, and things. Although I'm tuning into this relationship, in my mind, I'm trying to be very rational. Again, you're using your third eye by the Libra moon with your marriages, contracts, and partnerships, and you're saying, okay, have I been putting in what I can do? Is there something I can do to change this? Do I have a blockage, or do they have a blockage where we can evolve it and change it to the next level and let it mature? But there's something in them where they're taking complete accountability. External to them, what they're tuning into and what potentially could be an area they're dealing with is the 5 of Coins. Again, nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn, family-related dynamic, their health, the 12th house being activated, Aries. Yes, your health could be. Obviously, if you're sick, go see a doctor, but you do find you can have ascension symptoms with the 12th house, especially if there's a spiritual blockage. So what you're looking at is lots of changes, so it can be really overwhelming you. There can be family-related dynamics, and be your belief connected to it. Again, with your 7th house being activated, contracts, partnerships, and marriage. It doesn't even have to be yours. It can be a belief system you had from childhood, and you're purging that. At the heart of the matter, you're trying to pick up the pieces, okay? You're trying to recoup, and this is both of you. Both of you are recouping. Both of you may be experiencing very heavy dynamics, emotional and spiritual dynamics. But you're trying, again, you're trying to create this change. There is, at the heart of the energy, a change physically occurring through this transit. Your counterpart's energy in their head is thinking, is this energy reliable? Although I'm passionate about it, is this person reliable? is this situation reliable? You know, so they're up in their mind. They've got the passion, but they're still a little bit, can I trust what I'm seeing, sensing, and feeling? Why are you quiet? External, your counterpart is thinking maybe either you or them are being stubborn and not speaking. But there could be a lot of energy around that they're dealing with at the moment, in a sense of egoic people. The anchored 3D energy is there could be a lot of conflict on your side of the fence and their side of the fence. It could be internally you're fighting this situation, or you feel they're fighting it, okay? But on a 3D level of what's going on, there's a lot of conflict going on. In the first week, I'm going to pull more clarifiers. In the heart, both of you are conflicted, okay? In the heart, Aries, you guys are impatient. You're angry at yourself for things you didn't invest in. Again, with your 7th house, marriages, contracts, partnerships. You've had your download by the first 2 weeks. You're looking at it and you're saying, okay, what I didn't do versus what I need to do, I need to take direct action because this is the truth and it's in the heart. External, the way they're going to deal with it, they actually know that they have to come in a way where they take their power back. They have to change some things. It's within their power to actually take direct action with the external world of what they put their energy into that is blocking this path forward. Now, your counterpart's energy had a few cards fall out, and I'm just trusting in that process. So in their heart, they're tuning into you. This is the Aries energy, but this is the way they're tuning into you, Aries. There can be a very unforgiving energy. They're unsure if and how to work this out without clarity. More communication necessary. Feeling very anxious, feeling very disconnected, and not, you know, looking at 2 ways this can go, but unsure. They can be feeling that you're in the aspect of pride and you're not wanting to say anything. They also don't want to take your power away. They think you haven't forgiven them for something, so they're undecided about what to do. They're quite conflicted, but external to them, and this can be them even just tuning into you, which is what's coming through for me. They have the Sun in reverse. They feel that, you know, has this failed? Is this going to change? What can we do to change this? They may be feeling this themselves, or in general to this connection, they might be feeling that. But they do want this celebration, okay? They are very loyal to this connection. There is this loyalty energy, but this is what they're wanting to attract. So maybe they're caught in 2 ways and they're thinking, you know, do I deserve more or do you deserve more? But something in a sense of what they're tuning into external, which can also be you, is that they really do want this with you. Again, it's interesting because this card is connected to Aquarius, Pisces, and Capricorn. This is a karmic cycle at the moment. And this card, what's coming through to me, is really wanting to get to a point where the conflict is balanced, where the energy comes to you know, any injustices are rectified and changed. Okay, so it's this frequency where you're tuning into them and you're saying, look, you know, this can't go on the way it's going. You don't know what's going on with them, but you do know, cross-watcher, okay? So it's like you have this sixth sense as to what's going on with them, but at the same time, you are worried about them. You want them to be okay and you want them to be happy. But you're quite concerned because you feel the communication factor's not there, and they take it not on the shoulders, not just on the shoulders, but in the head and the heart, okay? And you know they have the strength, but you worry about them because you think they're taking on too much. Let's pull 3 cards to clarify. Yeah, they're not saying anything. That again, it can be a little bit, and I don't feel it's on purpose, ego. I feel it's more a lesson energetically that they're moving through. a facade, your side, their side, that both are putting on. You're tuning into each other, but at the same time, it might be you're not directly saying completely everything that's going on. Yeah, this month is going to help you reflect on it, okay? Reflect on your truth. You're unsure what that is. And again, I did say the first week, the Neptune energy would distort some of our beliefs about what's going on. Reflect on your truth. Unless you have all the details, yes, it's good for Aries because their 12th house is activated. It's hard to gain that truth if both parties haven't found their own, right? So in doing such, there's situations going on that are adding to that haystack. But by detaching just temporarily, this month is going to help you gain that reflection, but it's something you're going through. It is also helping strengthen your intuitive gifts and your telepathic communication, which is really strange. I'm going to pull 3 more. Any advice? Okay, keep moving through this energy. It's serving a purpose. One or the other, the advice is, and whoever you are watching, take the lead as the advice. Now, this could be you as a cross-watcher believing that this person needs to take the lead, or you physically feel you need to take the lead, but one of you are moving forward. You're moving through this energy, and it's your lesson energetically to anchor it in. Change tracks and reverse. You're on the right path. You might not feel you are. You're on the right path. This is helping you understand where you have not been kind to self, okay? You have been giving to other people, places, and things, and it has taken you away from your spiritual path. So for Aries, this is really good because they're going to understand that they can't hide that. No more shapeshifter energy. Seeing through the truth of how people are and, you know, their intentions, you're going to vibrationally feel it. And knowing that they want this change within their contracts, marriages, and partnerships, they want to mature that. It hasn't reached its full potential due to external influences. Love and light, and I'll see you later.